Righto, guys, we're going to make a gluten-free lasagna today. So follow the steps. First, get a couple of garlic cloves and finally dice them. A couple of onions and finally dice them. If your knife skills aren't great, don't worry, just do your best you can do. Next up, we're going to peel one carrot and top and tail it. And then we're just going to grate that carrot. That's going to offer a little bit of sweetness to the dish. So next, get yourself a nice size skillet on a high heat with a drop of olive oil, nice and hot. Pop in your pork and beef mince and then just break it up, season nicely with salt and cracked black pepper. And we want a nice browny golden color on this meat because it's going to add flavor. Here we're going to add a little bit of dried oregano and dried basil as we go, just a little bit. Remove off the heat, clean out the pan a little, and then a little bit more oil, and then we're going to just wet off our onions. We're going to add our garlic for another minute. We're going to add our carrots for another minute, and then we're going to season again with some dried oregano and some dried basil. We season as we go with this lasagna because it will really add the flavor. A couple of bay leaves, give it a nice mix around. A little bit more salt and cracked black pepper. We're only doing sprinkles. Some tomato paste. Cook that off for another minute or two. And then a glass of red wine. Any red wine's fine. Just chuck it in there. Reduce that. Let the alcohol burn off. Then some gluten-free beef stock. Reduce that down a little bit. Add in your beef and pork mince again. And then add in your tomatoes. All the amounts for the ingredients are in the description. Then we season again with dried oregano and basil and a pinch of salt and pepper, of course. We're going to cook this for about a good 2 to 2.5 hours. Remove your bay leaf, a drop of milk. Turn off the temperature when you're doing this, a drop of milk. Some fresh basil now, just to intensify that flavor. And then all you simply need to do is pop this in a bowl, which will allow it to cool quicker, and just allow it to get cooled before we start layering it up. Next, we're on to the bechamel sauce. So we've got our butter, unsalted I'm using here. We've got some gluten-free flour, and we're going to cook that flour out first, then start slowly to add your milk. If you are dairy-free, you can use dairy-free options in this. A pinch of nutmeg, and then slowly add your cheese. Turn off the heat when you're adding your cheese and then turn it back on. And then just keep doing it in bits. As you can see, I'm using parmesan and a nice sharp cheddar. Season with salt and pepper. Now you'll notice I'm using white pepper this time because I've just run out of bloody black cracked pepper. Then we start by layering our lasagna. As you can see, a nice meat layer first, like so. Then I've got some nice gluten-free, oh no, my sauce first, nearly buggered up. So the bechamel sauce next, just like so, nice layer over. Then your gluten-free pasta lasagna sheets. Now, if you do want to use fresh, I do have a gluten-free pasta recipe that is ideal for this. Just jump on my socials, guys, and just keep doing it layer by layer. Little seasoning again with the dried oregano and basil. This will just add another flavor layer to the whole dish. And then, as you can see, we just keep going. It's layer after layer. Now, if you want to do more layers, then obviously just double the recipe and make sure that you've got an oven-proof dish that's going to be big enough. So, yeah. And then crisscross your layers. It'll keep it together a little bit better as well. And then the final layer is just cheese sauce. I like to do that. So I like to do my final layer. Sprinkling of dried oregano and basil again. And then just top with some parmesan, some cheddar. Nicely all over, just like so. I put my oven on at 190°C and cook for about 45 minutes. Finish off with some plated foods. Chili oil. Link is in my bio, guys. That is it. Yum, yum, yum. It is done. The end result.